Hello and welcome to Safety That Works. My name is Dakota and today I want to talk to you about something that I think is one of the most important but also most misunderstood part of an effective safety program: leading versus lagging indicator tracking. Let's get to it. Now, to start off with, you may know indicators by a different name. KPI, performance metric, performance statistic. These are all ways of saying the same thing. It's the way we track our safety performance. Common indicators include things like TIR, or total incident rate, days safe, days away, restricted or transferred, which also translates to DART. These are all common indicators used in our industry. All of those metrics would be called lagging indicators because they tell us about our past performance or lagging performance. Basically, they tell us where we've been, what we've done as a safety program, but they can tell you little, if anything, about where you're going. Leading indicators, on the other hand, tell us about future performance. That's tracking things like safety completion percentage, area inspections, equipment inspections, incidents reported in a timely manner, things like that. All of those things, if we track the right metrics, should tell us about where we're heading as a safety program and what we can expect our lagging indicators to look like in the future. Both leading and lagging indicators are an important part of a safety program. Lagging indicators are how we measure where we've been and how effective the programs we've put in place have been. We can track trends to see if we're making a difference. Leading indicators, on the other hand, if we're tracking the right ones, should tell us where we're going. They should tell us about the safety culture we're developing, and if we're doing it the right way, they should give us a good indication of what we should expect our lagging indicators to look like in the future. But it's important that we track the right leading and lagging indicators and share them in the right format. That's what we're going to talk about next. Lagging indicators are the most commonly tracked, probably because it's the easiest to track, and we're already partially tracking them if we're filling out our OSHA required 300 logs every year. The thing about lagging indicators is they can be harmful if they're shared in the wrong group, and they can be harmful if they're shared in the wrong way. In my opinion, it's best not to share lagging indicators with the broader group. Save that for upper management and regulatory agencies that may require it. If you share lagging indicators with the broader team, you run the risk of either lulling them into complacency or giving them a sense of hopelessness, making them feel like they can't accomplish anything. For example, if we set our yearly TIR goal at a 2, but our numbers are coming in at a 1.5, the team may look at that and think that's an indicator that everything's going right. We've got a good safety program in place and we don't need to change anything. As safety professionals, we know that is not always the truth. On the flip side of that, if we say that we have a goal of 1 year accident free, and then in the first month we have an accident, how do you keep the team motivated for those 11 months left in the year when they already know they failed? There's no way they can accomplish the goal. We have to be cautious in how we share these because these are both dangerous attitudes to have in a safety program, especially if we want it to be a positive, effective safety program. I once was sent to a plant that had about a year safe to investigate an incident. And that year safe led everybody to believe that this plant was in great shape. The safety culture was developed. They were doing the right things. It was by all means supposed to be a great, safe culture. What I found when I got there instead was a lack of oversight, improper procedures posted on machines, and a general lack of any kind of emphasis on safety. Sure, we talked about it, but there wasn't a whole lot of enforcement. Things were happening every day, literally every day, that should never happen in a healthy safety culture. So all of that lagging indicator that was being tracked and everybody thought everything was going great, it was a false flag. Sometimes luck can unfortunately lead us to have what looks like good results for a while, and we find out that the culture wasn't built up and it can come crashing down. Another serious concern with tracking lagging indicators is that we can actually cause the team to not want to report incidents. For example, if you have a 360-day safe working streak, nobody wants to report an accident that happens in that last 5 days to hit 1 year safe. No one wants to be the person who broke the streak for everybody else, and no one wants to be the center of attention when everybody realizes that they reported an accident at day 364. In fact, this is such a concern that OSHA issues guidance on using incentive programs based on lagging indicators like days worked safe. Because the problem is, if we tie an incentive to it, then we further incentivize employees to try to cover up incidents instead of reporting them. It's not to say that lagging indicators aren't important and shouldn't be tracked. It's just that we have to be cautious with them. Leading indicators, on the other hand, are all forward-facing and should tell us where we're going with our safety program if we're tracking the right ones. Now, we have to make sure we're tracking the right ones, otherwise we're just wasting time. We also want to make sure we share them in the right forum. In my opinion, these are the indicators you want to share to the broader team, and you want to tie your performance goals and safety to leading indicators. Because if you have a bad week with a lagging indicator, that can set the tone for the rest of the year not being able to make your goal. But if you have a bad week with a leading indicator, the team can usually turn that around and it can actually drive them to try harder. For instance, if area inspections are one of your leading indicators and you have a team that misses their area inspections 1 week, the next week they can pick it up and make sure they get all of them, and then they're going to be even more driven to keep that score up for the rest of the year. Leading indicators also don't lead to us trying to cover up incidents. They're not lagging indicators, so the number of incidents reported doesn't matter in that sense. Actually, we can encourage incident reporting by making one of our leading indicators timely reported incidents. On the flip side, leading indicators can cause a problem with pencil pushing. Nobody wants to be the person who didn't do their equipment inspection and drug the team down, so it's easy to just check those boxes and turn in a just checked off sheet that they didn't actually do the inspection. That's something we have to watch for when we're pushing a leading indicator program. Leading indicators are also easier to gamify than lagging indicators. Gamification is a big thing right now as employers are trying to capitalize on this trend to reach a younger audience. With leading indicators, you can create a scorecard for each department and show what their leading indicator scores were and share that with the team and make it a little interdepartmental competition. I've done this before in a plant that had a really bad safety rating. Their lagging indicators were not telling a good story, and I was able to come in, implement some basic safety programs, and then create a robust leading indicator tracking and gamification system. That program ended up leading to a 10-fold improvement, I should say, in their lagging indicators. This can really work if we're doing it the right way, we're tracking the right things, and we're sharing it in the right format. There are a lot of different indicators that we can track. So many so that I think I'm gonna make a whole separate video on what indicators to track, how to track them, and how to use them to further our safety program. Both lagging and leading indicators have a place in our safety program as long as we're tracking the right things and using them effectively. One major benefit about leading indicator tracking with the broader team is that it can be part of a positive program for safety compliance. It's so hard in a department that's already looked down on sometimes and looked at as an enforcement and the police, that having a positive program that we can implement to get the team engaged is really important. That's why, in my opinion, it's really important that you're keeping disciplinary action out of your leading indicator tracking. I know there's some people that we just can't get to comply with safety unless we go through disciplinary action, but that should never be our first tactic, and we should really hesitate to use it in the realm of leading indicator tracking. Nothing's gonna hurt your rapport of the team quite so much as pushing a positive and gamified and fun safety metric that we're gonna track and safety goals we're gonna place to turn around and write somebody up for it shortly after. In general, advanced and forward-thinking safety programs will all include leading indicator tracking. Lagging indicators are important to track for OSHA reasons and to benchmark our performance, to look at trends over time to see if what we're doing is having an impact. But leading indicators are a tool for making sure that we are pushing in a positive direction and a tool for getting the team engaged. Now, as we're tracking our lagging indicators, if we're not seeing the results we're expecting, then we need to look at whether we're tracking the wrong leading indicators or if there's something else in our program that we're not doing right. What about you guys? Are you already tracking leading indicators? Drop a comment down below. Let's discuss it. Let's get some discussion going and see if we can help each other out. And if this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button for more. Thanks.